Welcome back to Arc Salt Lake. It is 8:30 now. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. We have a special guest this morning. We know the Utah legislature is appealing the congressional maps that are scheduled to be used for the upcoming 2026 elections.
And former Governor Gary Herbert was the governor of Utah when Prop 4 passed the ballot. He joins us now to talk about the latest in this process. So the next thing coming up here, of course, we have a special session. But let's first of all get your view on the Prop 4 appeal of this latest proposal.
Well, I think it's appropriate. In fact, I'm surprised the legislature waited so long to actually go after it. I think...
Oh, we lost your microphone for a second. We lost your audio just for a little bit.
Where did it go?
Yep.
Okay, you're back.
I'm back.
You're
okay,
back.
I think we're good now.
Have to
All right,
start
sorry
over.
about that.
Good to be back. Well, as I was saying, Judge Gibson, who I appointed, is a good judge, but the judges don't always get it right. I think some of the things that concern the legislature is the court waited till 20 minutes before the deadline, which really didn't give them a chance to appeal it. And we have appellate courts for reasons. Judges don't always get it right. Doesn't mean she should be impeached or anything like that. Some of that rhetoric's a little bit extreme. But it does mean that maybe there's a chance to say, maybe you've got it wrong. What we had passed with Prop 4 does not maybe necessarily work. The legislature has been very consistent historically to say we want all of our congressional districts to have some urban and some rural together, equal as much as we can, so that when they go back to Washington, they'll work together for whatever the issues are, whether it be urban issues or rural issues. The map that's been now chosen by the court really is very much a gerrymandered configuration. 52% of those registered as Democrats. It's a plus 17 district now. And Utah is unique in that we have so many Republicans. I mean, it's like almost 5-1 Republicans over Democrats. Democrats have about 200,000 registered Democrats. Republicans have over 900,000. The second largest group is unaffiliated, about 500,000. So it really is hard, unless you gerrymander, to find a way to have a district that's controlled by a Democrat number.
So the current governor and other members of the Utah GOP, they held this news conference just last week and said that this latest map is very gerrymandered, and that's why they're appealing it. And what will this do to the whole process?
Well, I think it's not the only reason why they want to appeal it. The debate really is can the people create constitutional amendment to say that we are, in fact, in charge of redistricting. This commission, unelected, 7-member commission that passed in 2018, which the legislature changed and modified and said, you're just advisory. You don't hold the authority to make it happen. Now, a lot of legal theories out there, but I know some think that if the legislature just would say, well, let's take a look at this recommendation, let's consider it, let's make some tweaks here and there, nothing would have happened. But they rejected it out of hand, and the Supreme Court said, you can't do that. And that's where the problem started at the Supreme Court. But it was a 5-0 unanimous decision, and again, those are all good people up there. And they just remanded it back to the district court, and then we got where we have now of a court picking the lines that they wanted to have, as opposed to the legislature, who they say that's our responsibility under the Constitution. That's our responsibility. Difference of opinion. That's why we're going to probably have an appeal, and the first step of that really is having a special session, because it makes the calendar all scawampus for those who want to file. And 1st of January, there used to be March. We got to change that time to get signatures, the deadlines you have to meet. It creates a kind of a domino effect of where do we have to go to make it all work. The June primary is set unless they change it, the 4th Tuesday in June. Yeah. That you got to work backwards to see how you can fit everything in on the calendar.
I just wonder if a lot of people in Utah are thinking, this is just ridiculous, and it's just politicians kind of trying to get their own way instead of the people's way.
Well, it's certainly a significant inside baseball discussion, and probably most of the electorate out there is not even paying much attention to it, other than it's just a typical political squabble between Republicans and Democrats up on the Hill. So whether they're paying attention or dismissing, I don't know. But I think that probably there's a lot of, this is confusing, it's convoluted, it is insider baseball. I expect the legislature to work this out with the help of the governor and others out there to find, what the sweet spot should be on elections, because I can tell you, initiative petitions are not a good way to make law. You go through a process where you have a proposal, you amend it, you discuss it, you debate it, you modify it, you change it, you improve it. With initiative petitions, whatever you put on the ballot, that's what happens. That's what comes out of it. And the legislature is saying that's why we need to have the ability to amend it to make it sensible.
So does this?
That'll be the debate here coming up on the special session.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Prop 4 was approved when you were governor. Does this kind of make a vote of the people, Proposition 4, obsolete because it was just an advisory thing?
Well, that's the debate. Can they, in fact, change the Constitution where it says the legislature must do the redistricting process every 10 years with the census? Or can we have a commission, a 7-member unelected commission appointed by, Republicans and Democrats, as was in the bill, but can they actually now take out of the hands of the legislature the right to create the districts for congressional districts? That's going to be the debate, the discussion. And I know that California, for example, they have so many initiative petitions. They almost, that's how laws are made there, not the legislature, it's by initiative. And I know our legislature doesn't want to see that happen here in Utah. It might be interesting to note that there's only there's 33 states of the 50 that do not allow any kind of initiative petition by the public to go out and change law. We allow it to be changed, but we've always had the ability to have the legislature modify to some extent. It's only now that the Supreme Court says you can't just ignore what they're saying when they want to change the form of government or make some modifications. The people have a right to say that under our laws, under our Constitution, and you can't just reject it out of hand.
Okay, kind of off topic maybe a little bit, but what should politicians do during the holiday season now to help those who they represent?
Well, there's a lot of things that they do. Again, the great thing is that let's try to prevent us from having poverty. You might be interested to know that Utah has the lowest poverty rate of any state in America today. We have a healthy economy, we have plentiful jobs, we emphasize education and hard work. We've got good values here that help us to be a great place to do business, to live and raise families. And so part of our challenge right now is everybody wants to come here. So providing a great, healthy economy so people don't have to rely upon government to help them out is the first step. An ounce of prevention with a pound of cure. That being said, there are people, as Ronald Reagan said, the safety net we need to provide for those people who are trying hard but aren't quite making it. And so we do have opportunities with our workforce services. We empower the private sector to give donations and charitable giving. I know it's always, we'll see a lot of, I think, elected officials out helping with food drives. I know even today our family still works down at the Food and Care Coalition in Provo. We go in on Thanksgiving and Christmas times to help supply help and need and for those who are less fortunate. So there's a lot of ways to do it, lead by example, but government does have a role to help, along with the private sector, to help those who are less fortunate and need a helping hand.
All right, Governor Herbert, thank you very much for being with us. Always wonderful to talk with you, and maybe we'll talk again before Christmas time, but we wish you the happiest of holidays.
Well, thank you, and thanks for all the good work you're doing, and let's anticipate getting together before Christmas. I want to get my list into Santa Claus.
Okay.
We all need to do
start it
that.
now. Okay.
Right. Hey, thanks so much.